Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the vlog. So we are back in project mode. We are back in the garage, finishing off this garage, and I really need to get this garage project done and dusted now because I've got car project absolutely itching to get in here, and I'm itching to get back on the cars, as I'm sure you are. So let's run through what we're planning to do today, and let me update you with some plans, what we have for the garage, because there's been some development that you ought to know. Okay, so let's update you on what's happened on the garage. So we've updated the floor, so we've raised the floor. It's not the best job, but it's good enough, and I'll explain why in a second. We've got all the materials now to fill the cavity here with the insulation. We've got these boards here. Now these boards serve a double purpose. They're in place, ready to be mounted, and they hide a multitude of sinks, because behind there is literally a mess. And that's because we've had to clear this wall. So just as a recap, this wall used to have some shelving unit in there. That's all now been cleared. The garage isn't that tidy, but we're getting there. So today what we're going to do, we're going to build our stud wall here, which is going to divide this up from here. We've already done all the electrics, so as you can see, I've got lights on in here and separate lights out there. So we've divided that up here. We've got a new light switch in here. All of this has been filled and sealed, so all this door and area here is now all waterproofed, which is great. And we've sealed all the holes up here. You can see expanding foam all over, whereas before it was all open. It's now sealed to make the garage insulated. Now we're not going to insulate the roof, although maybe we should, but really it's the walls here where we lose a lot of heat, etc. Now this garage, as it is quite warm to work in the winter. So all we're doing by adding the insulation is just giving the heater that power that heats this area up a bit of a fighting chance. And by separating the garage as well, we're going to improve that as well. So we're going to get on to the stud work. Floor. Now I did speak about putting epoxy down on the floor. However, I found a company that can actually supply me with some flooring pretty quickly, and that's Duramat. Link up on the screen now. They're going to supply the floor. I'm going to buy one of their garage packs, and that's going to allow me to put that down. Hence the reason why I'm not so bothered about the floor being absolutely straight. If that wasn't the case, and if we were going to be epoxy in it, that's exactly what I would do. So we're going to build this partition wall now. Then after, what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with material, with insulation, put some ply in front of it, or OSB on top of that, and then pretty much get all of this sorted, because we need to get this wall up and sorted to get the garage floor in. Right, let's kick off. Let's get this wall built. Okay, so stud work is up. Just got to put the noggins in. This gap is wider than what you would normally do. Normally it's about the width of some insulation, but I'm not going to put any insulation in because that area there is not really going to be worked in. It's just going to be this garage area here, hence the reason why it's wider than what it is. Okay, we'll get the noggins in, and then we'll fill out this area here with some insulation. Okay, so all our noggins are in place now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to tack that OSB board to the back side of this, so we can at least get that in place, and then we'll then tack the front one in. Once we do that, we'll then run some cable. Essentially what's going to happen, I'm going to run the cable in the front rather than inside of the cavity, and that way it just makes it easier to service, because this is not a house where everything has to be neat and hidden. It's a garage, so we want it to kind of look industrial, which is exactly what I've done here. That's why all the electrics are outside rather than hidden behind the wall, and that way we can adjust it as we need to. So we'll put that side up, then we'll put this side up, and then yeah, it should then start to take shape. Right, that's in place. Now we're going to put the insulation in. We'll put the insulation in here, then we can run our OSB board and start sorting that out. Right, insulation is in, and actually it could be psychological, but it actually feels a lot more warmer and cozier just with this. Amazing. Right, now OSB time. So we're going to put an OSB in front there and build this wall up and this area here, and then I think we can call it. And that is it. We are all done. The building work in effect has finished. There's some snagging that I need to do, and I'll demonstrate. So on the outside, I'm reusing a lot of the cladding that I had. So I've started there, and we're just gonna fill it up, and when we finish that, it will look like that side of the garage. So yep, I'm just waiting for the store to open up to get some more, but you can see it will kind of just blend in well with the rest of the house. From an inside perspective, we've got our sockets in place now. I did mention earlier that we were going to get the sockets on the outside and use some piping and some metal sockets, but I had these sockets left over and it just felt silly not to use them, so I've hidden the wire behind. But if I want some more around that side, and I'm not sure what I'm doing about that side yet, I might put a tool wall on there, a power tool wall that is, then I can run it from there and just run it across, and that'll be fine. So we're going to leave this wall as it is. I'm not going to paint it because I want it to look industrial like, and after all it is a garage, it's not in the interior of a house. So all of this will stay as it is, and as it seasons, the wood, it will start to darken. Then we'll decide whether or not we're going to paint it. But other than that, we'll just give it a bit of a clean up and it will be fine. Right, okay, so the roof, this is the old roof. You can see where the new roof comes in. So basically this is where the old garage kind of ended, and then this is the new roof for the new side. I do like this industrial look on the garage. So what I'm going to do is probably clad this area here, because this is where all my worktops are going to go. So let's talk about that. So my toolbox, which I'll show you in a second, my grey toolbox and one of my red toolboxes will go here. We've got this cabinet here that will go in the corner. We're going to get another one of those which will go here, and then there will be a space for the red cabinet so I can get it in and out as needs be. So if I want to pull it out and go outside with it, I can, but if not, it will just sit there. Then we'll have the grey toolbox underneath, and then a nice worktop that will go the whole length, and then we'll put our bits and bobs. On the tops we'll have some counters. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go straight across with counters, or also whether I'm going to get full-size cabinets. I've yet to decide that. What I was thinking is getting these half ones with the flip up lid, or that was an option. But that will have all my valeting stuff and cans and stuff that I used to have in this, on the shelf unit that used to be here. That will go in here and it'll be out of the way, nicely hidden. Storage is a key thing in this garage because I've always had a lack of it. Okay, and then this area here will obviously be all nice and clear. So coming back here, these are the toolboxes we were talking about. So that's a grey one that will go over there, and then of course that's the toolbox that will go in the corner, and we'll be able to take that out and roll it out as needs be. I just need to tidy the top there a little bit. That toolbox there will go in the corner here, and then I'll use that in case I've got the car facing the other way. So the idea is cars drive in, service from the front, and then obviously we reverse out. Now let's talk about the size of this garage. What do we end up with in the end? Because from the outside it is quite deceptive. So from the outside here you've got the garage door, and it looks quite small, like a standard sort of UK sized garage, which if you're in America are very small. But as you come in, you then get this area here, which is a good meter. So you've got a good meter coming in here. So total width is 3.5 meters. In fact, it's just over 3.5 meters, and the length that we've got now is 7.2 meters, which is extraordinary, and it just looks huge. It really does. I think the camera makes it look a little bit bigger than actually what it is, but in all fairness, it is pretty big. Right, let's talk about design now. So flooring. There are two designs that I've got in mind, okay? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Design number one is a black and red check design. Now, I've been thinking about this design. I want a kind of dark color so that anything that goes on the floor doesn't stain it, or it won't stain because it's plastic, but the dirt doesn't show. So you want it to look as good as possible for as long as possible. And these floors have got quite a long lifespan on it, hence the reason why I've chosen Duramat. So that's design number one. You can see a picture of it on the screen now with the black and red check. Now, the problem with that design is that the black tiles are not in stock, okay? They don't come into stock until the 15th, which means I have to wait another couple of weeks. And while that's not a problem, I just want to get it done and dusted. I'm sure you appreciate. So that's design number one. Design number two is a red and blue tile, which is a little bit out there in terms of its look and feel. You can see that on the screen now, and hopefully I found a example for you to have a look at as well. That is in stock, and I can get that hopefully by next week and get that fitted. So what do you think? Which one do you prefer? The red and black design or the blue and red design? Tell me what you think. I'm just interested really, because I've kind of made my mind up, but let's see what you think. The next one, the lift. So I'm gonna get myself an Atlas S25 scissors lift, and the reason why I'm going for that design rather than a two-post lift, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't have the height for a two-post lift. I was looking for there is some short jacks. I can't remember what they're called now. Quick jacks? Not the quick jacks. Quick jacks are the lift up ones off the floor. I was originally looking at those, but the height that you get, it's just not worth it. Might as well buy what I'm going for, the Atlas S25. The Atlas S25 will lift the car up a meter, and that is all I can really lift. Anything higher and the car will go through the roof. So the Atlas S25 would be enough for me to lift, and that's the reason number one why I haven't gone for a 2-post lift. Reason number two is that my concrete floor is just not man enough for it. I would have to basically cut out a piece of the floor, dig up the floor, and then lay a deeper pad to be able to hold the lift, and that to me is just so much like hard work that I don't really need. So that's the other reason, but mainly the height being the main reason, that my garage is just not high enough. My garage is 2.2 meters high. The average 2-post lift is 2.4 meters, unless you buy the max jacks. That's what it is, max jack. I'll show you a picture on the screen now. So max jacks, they are shortened 2-post lift designed for short lift garage. The only problem with max jacks is I can't find a supplier in the UK. I found a couple of companies that sell it, but they don't have any in stock, and they don't know when they're going to get any in stock, and it's quite pricey as well. And I wouldn't benefit because it only lifts up. I'd have the 1 meter problem. So with the additional funds that it will cost me, absolutely no point in getting it. Now, you could argue that, well, a scissors lift, it's you know, with a 2-post lift, you've got the underneath of the car completely free, so you can go underneath it. Well, yes and no. There's not much I do that I need to go right underneath the car for. And actually, the 2-post scissors lift, or the scissors lift that I'm getting, the actual middle part is clear. So, for example, if I was changing an exhaust, it is doable with the scissors lift because the actual middle bit is not a solid piece going across. It basically is 2 separate stands. So the middle bit is clear, which means you could do an exhaust. And outside of that, there's nothing really much more that you would deal with on a car other than brake lines. So there's my thinking and thoughts there. And that is it. That is the garage and the project. We haven't finished it. Obviously, we've got the internal fit out. I will show that. But I'm toying with whether we introduce our new project car next week. All will depend on the bits and pieces that need to come. So if I can get the tiles, we'll crack on and do that, and then we'll put the units in and dress up the garage. If we can't, we'll introduce a new car. And it will be an interesting one. Now, the car that I bought, that I've had for a while, is a doctored car. And I bought it knowing that it was a doctored car. But I bought it so you guys don't have to go through the same experience. And we'll go for that when we get the car. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe down here. Click on the bell notification so you're notified whenever we have a new video. And also, click on the like button, because the more likes we get, this video will then go up on the YouTube algorithm and it'll get promoted, and we want to try and get to our 30k subscriber, which we are moving up in the right direction. We just need to improve it. So if you are just a casual viewer, click on that subscribe button, give us a like button. Let's see if we can get this video to 1,000 likes. That would be brilliant if we can. So like, share, and we'll see you on the next one.